Hi everyone, LazyFire here. Welcome back to Call of Duty 4. Today, Subpointicate Poster's with me. Say
Hello! And Staff
Yes.
Sergeant Griggs, apparently.
Yeah, well, Sergeant. Staff Sergeant's a different rank, you see. So, if you watched the previous episode, and you obviously haven't, Subpointicate, because it's not been posted at this point, this is where I kind of left the last episode off, because the game didn't save. When you finish this area, it's supposed to save, like, right afterwards, and for some reason it didn't, and it teleported me back to the previous save point, and I rage quit out of frustration.
Fuck this game.
And so, last time I actually went to the other side. You can go straight down the middle if you really feel like you hate yourself, or you can go to the left or right here. And I found the left is actually the easier path, because you can just shotgun everything.
More cover?
That too. You can't actually see, like you can see there, I couldn't see the other side of the aisle, so you're not getting shot from as many different directions. So it helps there. Plus RPD.
Oh yeah, I missed... I never played Modern Warfare 1, but Modern Warfare 2, RPG, and the shotguns just... Oh, I love those guns.
Shotguns in Modern Warfare 2. The fact that you can use them as your secondary weapon.
Yeah, exactly. Run around with a spaz and shoot people from halfway across the map. Oh, it was so much fun.
So there we go. There's the save. Well, actually, if I died here, I would be brought back to that point there. I don't know why I didn't do that last time. You will see me die at least once in this episode, maybe twice, so don't worry about that.
We were playing on a harder difficulty anyway, so...
No, this is normal.
Oh.
This is the end of the game on almost any difficulty level is just... This segment and the thing we just got through are just really difficult areas. And you can see there, the only reason I just survived that shit was because I'm on normal. I should have been dead. Yeah, the last segment of the game, it really is pretty intense, because this is a game without a boss battle. So what they did was they just gave you some pretty intense combat segments instead.
Which makes sense. I mean, you know, having a boss in a pseudo-realistic military shooter probably doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. But this is the first time you've really seen the end of this game, right?
Yes, I've never played through. I ended up buying it because we were talking about doing some retro nights, and never got around to that. So I have it, and so at some point I can always, you know, throw it in the machine and play it.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, I think even now people talk about it being a pretty good Call of Duty level all these years later. Just because it's got basically everything you expect from it. It's a pretty difficult set of combat segments.
Yeah, from watching the LP, it's got variety. You know, you've got stealth sections and sniping sections and things like that, and then just full-on crazy-ass combat, which is good.
Yeah, I feel like they got away from that with Black Ops 3 especially.
Yeah,
as I played that.
Gone completely batshit, and you know, I honestly haven't finished a campaign since Modern Warfare 2. You know, I started them and I'm just kind of like, I'm just here to play the multiplayer.
Yeah. Which I think is what everyone does. I mean, even the Steam version of Black Ops 3 has a multiplayer-only component to it.
Yeah, and it kind of makes sense. It's like, you know, really, it's like, why do you invest all this money in doing these campaigns when most people just buy it for the multiplayer, never play the single player, and, you know, how much money could you save in development by doing that?
Yeah, well, that's, games like Insurgency, I think, do an even better job of just nothing but multiplayer stuff. So, but with Call of Duty Black Ops 3, they actually launched you can just buy the multiplayer section of the game on PC.
On PC, right.
And I think on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, the only thing that's available is the multiplayer segment of the game.
I know they really changed it up for those because it's last gen and they don't want to develop for them anymore. So, you know, I think future titles are probably going to be the current gen.
Yeah. So, anyways, this whole thing, I brought up in the last video all the GoldenEye reminders I get. This is another one. Because you get there are multiple episodes where you're like the facility level where the early parts of this stage remind me of. And then this segment reminds me of the missile launch areas where you're like, and then when you meet Natalia, like all of it reminds me of GoldenEye. It's really weird. So I don't know if that's intentional or not, but it just reminds me a lot of it.
Take the security feed. It's the can. You take it off.
But hey, we averted nuclear disaster.
Hooray!
I'm thinking we can use all of these to get the hell out.
And now we have to go chase down Zakhaev or get out of here or something. I don't know. They just basically say get out of here. They don't say you have to kill Zakhaev.
This is command. Recommend you exfil from the area immediately.
Just get out.
Large numbers of hostile forces are converging on your position. Get out of there now.
I got friendlies.
Well, fuck them.
I was wondering why they weren't shooting me. It's like, man, they didn't shoot Price, Griggs, or me. That's weird. Better fire on them. Yeah, that's the, man, I love the shotgun. There's only 2 shotguns in this game, believe it or not. I think most Call of Duty games do 4 to 5 now.
Yeah, there's a bigger variety. They got, what, the M104? Is that what you're using?
Yeah, it's an M104. But yeah, like, it was that, and it was the pump action. That was like all they had in this game. And they were, don't get me wrong, the shotguns in this game were pretty fucking solid in multiplayer, but they weren't amazing.
They were no spaz.
There were no spaz. The spaz is broke as shit. Hey, how did they operate this elevator with no buttons inside it?
Pressure plate?
I'm literally looking around trying to figure out how they got this elevator to run, or what's making it go up or down, because there's no
Cables or anything.
Yeah, just a freight elevator, you know. So
it's like a dumb waiter. It just goes up and down.
So yeah, the end of the game is very much like the rooms are not super impressive. They don't really reuse this segment of the game for anything. And by the way, I don't know where these guys came from. That door shut.
Close it behind them.
Yeah, but they don't use any of this stuff that we're seeing now for any of the multiplayer segments of the game or anything like that. It's just kind of like here. It's kind of weird in that regard, because almost every other major setting in the game, from Azerbaijan to the Saudi Arabia stand-in, gets represented in a multiplayer. But for some reason, this, like, the only thing you really see from this segment of the game is Countdown, which is one of the maps I mentioned earlier in the LP.
Substantial.
It's just
But okay, here's ready for one of the weirdest conversations of the game.
a beer should be ice cold.
A lager, maybe, or a glass of water like you drink, but a pint of stout.
Fucking, that is the weirdest set of questions I've ever heard from a man.
I'm buying.
Well, at least
Water like you drink.
Well, yeah, you know, you go overseas and the American beers aren't looked upon, well, at least the American mass-produced beers aren't looked upon very fondly, and I can't blame them.
No, I was gonna say, in America we don't look upon the mass-produced beers very fondly anymore. So I'm trying to show off right there that you can't actually shoot the drivers out of the truck, which really bugs me. But this is all very scripted. I have a friend of mine that I occasionally bring in for commentary. He likes to point out these segments of games where you can do nothing and still get through these like driving segments or action segments. And he mentioned specifically the AC-130 segment of this game doesn't do that. Like, if you don't get through the AC-130 segment and actually kill
You'll
things,
fail.
your guys will die. Yeah.
Yeah.
This segment is much the same. This is one of the few games where it's a little consistent on that front. You will have to shoot shit if you want to survive. But you have, for whatever reason, I don't know why, an actual ammo count in this segment.
It's on rails. We gave you 48 bullets. Good luck.
It's closer to like 400, which is what you... But yeah, right there.
We got some more coming!
Yeah. that
Rocket
hurt.
in the face.
You can take a surprising number of rockets to the face. It's such a short segment, I didn't mind doing it twice. But yeah, it's really weird that you get thrown into the back of this thing and are like, okay, here you go. Just shoot these
Some
guys, I
on
guess.
trucks. Now, you'd think they would have put like a mounted machine gun or something to make it a little bit better.
Right, and if this was any other Call of Duty game, it would have been a mounted machine gun that you were gunning from, and you'd be able to blow up the trucks as they came at you, and there'd be a million of them. And then at one point, 2 of them would, like, park across the road side by side, so you couldn't get past them.
You have to
blow them
smash
up.
through, or something ridiculous.
We're going through!
Catch
Yeah, that's
some
how you get.
sick, nasty air off a ramp or something.
Uh-huh. That's it, and... Like,
Why
yeah,
are we designing these games? We're clearly qualified.
We've played enough of them that we know exactly how to play it. Watch their lights on the truck, by the way. Notice how they just went on as soon as they went into the tunnel.
They have very sensitive auto headlights.
Yeah, right off. Because I think the truck actually just goes, it doesn't matter. All the vehicles just go having lights or not having lights. There's no in between. There's no, like, the second they're covered, they go and have lights. It's weird. But we're getting chased by a helicopter now. Then a fuel truck blew up. It was sure a thing. So, if you give it a second... Yeah. Now we realize there's an RPG in the back.
Oh.
Now, you can actually hit this thing. I've done it before. Not in this video. I will not hit this in this video. But if you do, I think it doesn't really do
A whole lot.
I think it, like... If it does get hit, like another one just shows up or something like that. I can't remember quite exactly what it does, because hitting it's a bitch, as you can see.
Yeah,
this
since
is
the
one of
RPG has no tracking.
It was one of the bigger problems with Modern Warfare in general, was that the RPG not only does it not have tracking or like homing of any nature, the other guys have stingers right now. For some reason, I'm stuck with an RPG with no ammo. But not only does the RPG have no tracking, in multiplayer, it's not 100% accurate. So
Yeah,
you
it has a
couldn't
bit
even,
of a
like,
loop to it.
Yeah, it was random too. And so people would, like, if an enemy helicopter got called in, shooting with an RPG wasn't always the best way. It was sometimes better to just fire an LMG at it until it went down.
Until you took it down.
Yeah, because you can get deep impact in that game, which is their the damage increaser. That could actually help take down a helicopter in like 50 bullets from an LMG or something like that. So half a magazine. And so here we go, the famous last stand of Call of Duty 4. Look how fast we're getting through this thing. I forgot how fast this level moves.
Is in the area, maybe.
Especially when you're not playing on a higher difficulty.
Oh yeah, that too. If this was a higher difficulty, we'd be fucked about 50 times by just this point, like right here. Because they're just dropping off enemies, they're driving up, and if you let them get too close, they will just start throwing grenades down at you, and you'll have to go up to where that Jeep is, which is not suggested. I already used all of my grenades, or grenade launcher rounds. But the good news is, and this is the thing that I've found through playing this game, if I didn't have the ability to aim with a mouse, I would be so fucked in this game.
Which is why I don't play shooters on PC, because, yeah, I never used a mouse. Like, can I skip that whole thing? We're right to console, so yeah, I just fucked.
It makes this segment a lot easier than most of the Call of Duty games, for that matter. But yeah, get ready. Get ready to have your heart broken if you've been paying attention to the game. And this is the point of the game where you realize that it was never supposed to have sequels. Just keep watching.
But we sold so many copies, we had to make one.
That was basically what happened. Was bam, Grig's down, dead.
Right in the face.
Right in the face. He won't be able to rap ever again. Thankfully.
We're not missing anything.
He was not very good at it. That's the main problem. If he was Kanye West talent, we'd care. But yeah, here's Gaz right in front of Zakhaev. Pop. So yeah, basically your entire supporting cast just got murdered in front of you.
I thought Gaz was in Modern Warfare 2.
No, they use the same voice actor. He was Ghost in Modern Warfare 2, which
okay.
because they used the same voice actor and he didn't change his voice, people were like, "Oh, Gaz survived that somehow." Should be fucked.
Because I know Price was.
Right, Price shows up in all 3 Modern Warfare games, and so does Soap. And the voice actor who played Gaz actually shows up in all 3. Sergeant Walcroft from one of the episodes in Britain actually is voiced by the same actor. So, well, the voice actor
continuity.
Yeah. And Sergeant Walcroft is the guy who has the aliens exchange with Gaz in the first level of the game too. So that's even more continuity. Well, yeah, we just killed the big bad.
Woohoo!
A little anticlimactic, but the honest review somebody posted in the thread about how, like, it's always at the last second something distracts the bad guy and allows you to kill him. That's exactly it right there.
The helicopters.
Yeah, it's like the Eagles at the end of the Lord of the Rings, only there's not 12 endings. Sure, yeah. Those are a lot of words that are real. And so, yeah, this is what I mean when I said people did not expect this to have a sequel. And by people, I mean Activision and Infinity Ward. Because the game ends on such a note where it looks like everyone but you died. And right here, it's going to say that the Russian ultranationalists are having a power struggle when in Modern Warfare 2, it clearly states Makarov just took power immediately and like, deified Zakhaev almost like right off the bat. Because when Infinity Ward got the rights or got the ability to do this game, Activision basically said, we don't think it's going to work. And so they gave them the money to do the game, but they also had Treyarch working on World at War at the same time, thinking that World War II was clearly the more profitable market.
Well, it was at the time.
Oh, yeah. And then when this came out and completely fucked that hierarchy, they had to go back and basically invent a new reason to play the game more.
Yeah, and, you know, video games, it's like comic books where, you know, you can just retcon everything and be like, oh, no, that was, you know, you totally didn't see what you saw. It was a hallucination or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, the one for the Modern Warfare series where Makarov was actually there during the exchange in Chernobyl was just really fucking bizarre. Like the way they handled the sequels to this game, it was really weird, and I really feel like they never meant for there to be sequels to this game.
Yeah, and the whole, you know, you kind of go balls out, doing, hey, we're gonna make for a first-person shooter, we're gonna make a really good story, blah blah blah, and then it sells a ton, and it's like, how do we top that? You know, in Modern Warfare 2, you had no Russian level where, you know, you're trying to shock people and things like that, and then in Modern Warfare 3, they had we're gonna nuke Paris or whatever it was, just trying
the
to
gas attacks.
Yeah, do the over the top every time, and there comes a point where you're just like, you know, it kind of flops over from, oh, this is cool, to this is really fucking absurd and ridiculous. I mean, it's video games, so yeah, it's okay. It's not a big deal, but, you know, you sort of lose that claim to, we did something really interesting and different and artistic, and it's like, oh.
Yeah. So this is the extra mission in the game. It's called Mile High Club, and it's one of those things that people still talk about is getting through this on the hardest difficulty level in the time span they give you. Because there's like it's difficult. You're gonna see it here on regular, where it's still like I still get close to dying a couple times and run a little low on time. It's only like 2.5 minutes you get for this whole thing. But yeah, it's kind of neat. It's obviously a prequel to the whole game, but this is in future games it'd be zombie mode and the museum and
I remember the museum trying to do that and just being like, holy shit. Yeah, don't push this button. I pushed the button.
Yeah. So I pick up the mini Uzi for the first time in the game. I run across it in the first level of the game, and I just refused to pick it up.
Well, there was
Not
better
bad.
stuff.
Yeah. This is where, like, I feel like they threw all the SMGs they ended up using multiplayer into this level. As you'll see the Scorpion in here, and the Mini Uzi, and I think those are the only two that really only made very brief appearances in the single player. Sometimes I forget that people are swinging at me, so I just let them shoot me a bunch.
The P90.
Man, the P90 should be everything.
Yeah.
And it usually is.
Well, it's so ugly. Like, it's kind of iconic.
Oh yeah. It's become that, exactly. And a Scorpion! In Modern Warfare 3, the Scorpion had actually become a machine pistol that you could use as a secondary. And you could use dual machine pistols as a secondary, and it was broken as fuck.
And two, you had the dual Raficas in multiplayer that were broke.
Yeah, if you try to shoot the guy in the head, it won't work. You have to shoot him in the leg first. I was trying to show that. But yeah, this is like it. This is all that Mile High Club is. So we're gonna end this. Yeah, it's like a nice little mini level that they give you. There's nothing wrong with it. It's actually pretty fun, and it can be difficult on the higher levels because there's an achievement associated with getting through the highest level, like I said. But yeah, that is Call of Duty 4. That's all it has to offer outside of multiplayer. So, Subpointicate, thanks for joining me here.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Yay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.